Hi everyone. Let's do some yoga. I hope you can hear me. I've got my window open and I may have to let my cat in, so just so you know. Um, let's start on the seated on the mat. So you want to use a yoga mat, or you could also use a carpet. Like I have a downstairs kind of throw rug that seems to work if you don't have a yoga mat. You could also grab a block or a water bottle, and that's good for water too. And we'll just do some mellow yoga, just a little bit. Um, so go ahead and let's start seated. So I hope you can see me on the ground here. So we just come to easy pose. You can sit cross-legged and just get comfortable. Ground through your seat. Place your hands where they're comfortable. And just find your breath here. Take a few rounds of breath. Inhale. And exhale. Kind of settling in. Let your mind relax. Just finding your breath here. Breathing from your belly. Let's do cat and cow. So again, you could be cross-legged or maybe coming to butterfly if that feels better to you. Keep your shoulders relaxed here. Maybe hang on to your knees or ankles if you're in butterfly. Inhale, lift through your heart. Exhale, round through your back. Inhale, look up. And exhale, draw belly to spine. Maybe continue on here. Open your arms. Inhale. And exhale, round through your back. Imagine you're hugging a ball. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round through your back. Just roll back up through your spine here. Maybe do some shoulder shrugs. You can also kind of gently stretch through your neck. Even look a little bit side to side. So let's sit with legs long. So I'm going to sit the other way on my mat. You can extend your legs out. You could even take your block if you have one. You could put it underneath your knees for a little extra support. Just take an inhale here, and on an exhale, reach toward your toes. So go ahead and stay here. I'm going to let my cat in because I can hear him. So keep stretching in your forward fold. Here he comes. Hello. So when you're ready, out of your forward fold, just take your time. You can roll up one vertebra at a time here. Good job there. And let's come to butterfly. So this is also called Baddha Konasana. Just bring the soles of your feet together. So first get comfortable here. Just let your knees fall open to either side. Keeping your shoulders relaxed. Again, breathing from your belly. Oh, he might be joining me. Good boy. Let's do cat and cow here. So maybe hold on to your ankles. Lift through your heart, inhale. Then exhale, round through your back. So you're always finding your range of motion. Always listening to your body. Inhale, look up. And exhale, draw belly to spine. So sometimes it feels good to hold. If you find a pose or even a certain position within a pose, feel free to hold. I'll meet you back in butterfly, so you can let your knees fall open to the side, or maybe you gently press them open. Always breathing here. Good job here. So just keep one knee bent. Oh, he's lying down. Trying to stay cool. Extend your other leg out. Maybe shift forward just a little bit. Feel free to hold just like this. You could take a few rounds of breath here. If you feel like stretching a little deeper, your arm floats up, the same arm where your knee is bent. Inhale. You're walking out your other hand. It can rest on your leg, or maybe it walks behind your leg. Exhale. Turn and peek under your arm. Again, feel free to hold there, or you can just pass through. Everyone's going to be a little bit different with where your body is in the moment, how you're feeling. So let's switch sides. You can bend your other leg and extend the other one out, and feel free to hold just like this. Or maybe you continue on. Same arm as leg that's bent, floats up, inhale. On an exhale, walk your other hand out. It can rest on your leg, or maybe it's walking behind your leg. Just creating a gentle twist there. So feel free to hold there, or you can start to unwind. I may have to let him back out again. I'll meet you back in easy pose. So just sit cross-legged. Place your hands where they're comfortable. I'm going to let him out. He may want to come back in again. Good job here. This is called easy pose or Sukhasana. Reconnect with your breath here. You always want to be moving from your breath. Use it as an anchor. Maybe let your hands float down to either side. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, arms float down. Inhale, arms float up. And exhale, arms float down. Inhale, arms float up. Bring your palms together and exhale. Let them travel down toward your heart center. Find your center here. Let your hands float down to your knees. Cat, look up. And cow, round through your back. Maybe seeing if you can go a little bit further. Now, as you wake up, inhale, look up. Exhale, round through your back. Feel free to keep your hands on your knees, or maybe arms open to either side. Inhale. And exhale, round through your back. And feel free to keep going there. In cat and cow, or you can roll back up through your spine. We're going to try a gentle twist here. So you can rest your hands back on your knees and always go at your own pace here. Hands on knees, take an inhale. On your exhale, you're just going to turn to one direction and just gently look over your shoulder. Breathe here. You can unwind on your own pace. Inhale. On your exhale, just turn and look the other direction. Unwind on your own pace here. And if it feels good to you, Maybe extend both legs out so you can get comfortable. You can even grab your block or water bottle here and place it in the center. Again, feel free to stay up high and just sort of breathe and gently stretch. If you want to shift forward here, you just want to take an inhale first. And then on your exhale, you would gently maybe walk hands forward, or you could rest your hands on your block or water bottle. Maybe you're even resting on your forearms, letting your head float down toward the ground. Feel free to hold here. So on your exhales, you can maybe melt a little bit further, and if you're ready to come out, you can rise back up. If you want to stretch side to side here, just walk one hand out. You can even rest it on your leg. Let your opposite hand float up, maybe peek underarm here. And you can just switch sides. Let that hand float down. Walk your hand out on your leg. Other arm floats up. Peek under your arm. So again, just taking your time here. So I'm keeping this really mellow today. This might even be too much. But whether it's mellow or not for you, feel free to adjust for your body. I'm going to face the longer way on my mat here. Bend your knees here. We're going to windshield wiper our legs. So bring your feet, kind of line them up with your hips, and hands are facing toward your feet. Just drop knees to one side. Feel free to hold, or maybe you just pass through, windshield wiper. You can drop them to the other side. Maybe do that a few times, windshield wiper. So you're always finding your range of motion here, windshield wiper. Good job there. And then let's stretch your upper body a little bit more, so you could sit back in easy pose maybe. And walk your hands behind you, and hands are facing toward your knees. And you just want to keep your elbows soft here, shoulders soft. You're going to feel a slight stretch in your shoulders. Breathe here. And again, maybe do some shoulder shrugs. So you can even draw shoulders from back to front or front to back, or draw them up toward your ears and then down. Or maybe stretch your arms so I'll face back toward you. So you can even kind of stretch side to side, maybe across the outer edge of one wrist. You could also interlace your fingers here, kind of joining your index fingers. Just stretching side to side, or just one hand holds onto the other. You should feel a nice stretch in your side bodies here. Maybe reach up. You can make cactus arms here and lift through your heart. It should feel like a really nice stretch in your upper body too. We want to make sure we get our upper body as well. So feel free to do anything else seated that feels good to you. Or if you're ready to start heading down to the ground, I'm keeping this short today. Make sure you're closer to the top of your mat. And again, maybe do a couple more windshield wipers here. You want your feet more or less lined up with your hips. And you're just stretching from side to side. Feel free to hold anywhere to stretch. Kind of breathing into those nooks and crannies. Another one that you can do that you definitely want to listen to your body on this is doing like a figure four seated. So again, my feet are lined up with my hips. My hands are facing toward my feet. And you can cross one foot over across the top of one knee. And then you want to feel a stretch in your hip here. So this may or may not feel good to you. You could also lie down for this. You want to hold onto underneath your legs, and you can lower yourself down and do this on the ground as well. It's like a figure four. So whether you're up or down, Feel free to try that figure four. The stretch is more intense if you're seated. And again, if you could do it on the ground, make sure that you're protecting your lower back as you lower yourself down to the ground. So if you're doing it on the ground, you can even raise your other leg off the ground. You can even thread the needle here. So you weave your arm where your knee is bent in between both legs, and then you pull behind your other leg underneath your hand where your hamstring is. And you're kind of pressing gently open your knee that's bent and your leg that's bent. You get a little bit of a deeper stretch here in your hip. So you could also just stack one knee on top of the other. Or feel free to do all of these. You could try all of these variations. My apologies for that. That's my phone ringing. Let's try the other side. So if you're on the ground, you could just unwind that leg and then place your other foot above your knee. You want to do it seated first. I've got my feet lined up with my hands. Crossing one foot above my knee. So you're getting, it's definitely a more intense stretch, but you could stay up here, or maybe you start to head down to the ground doing figure four on the ground. Again, make sure you protect your lower back. Place hands underneath hamstrings. You can lower yourself down to the ground, and you can let your knee fall open here, doing a figure four. Remember, another version is to stack one knee on top of the other. You can also raise your leg, your opposite leg, off the ground here and even thread the needle. Take your arm that's the same as where your knee is bent and weave it in between both legs, and then hold on behind your other hamstring. Feeling that stretch in your hips. Just really taking your time here. You can unwind your leg here. So if you're seated, place one hand underneath one leg or underneath both, and then drop your chin down toward your chest, roll down through your spine. Let's all meet in butterfly on the ground here. So just bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees fall open to either side. Breathe here. Now feel free to stay just as you are. Maybe you start to stack one knee on top of the other. You could look up to the sky, or maybe you're turning and facing toward your knees. Or maybe even extend your opposite arm out and turn and look over your arm here. You can unwind, head back to the center. Maybe give both knees a hug here. Take an inhale. On an exhale, you can drop both knees to the other side, stacking your top knee on top of your lower knee. So maybe you keep your upper back on the mat and just look up to the sky. Feel free to face toward your knees here. If you're feeling flexible enough, you could even extend your opposite arm out and take an inhale. And then on your exhale, turn and look over your arm. So really feeling free to hold here in this modified supine twist. At any point in time, you can head back to the center. Let your knees float up to the center. Give your knees a hug. So let's try a little bit of an inversion. Just send your legs and feet up to the sky. You could even flex your feet here. Keep your knees soft. So you could even send your hands up to the sky too. Even flex your hands. Maybe wiggle toes and fingers. Bend both knees here. Keep one knee bent, extend your other leg out, and support your leg on the bottom. You want to feel the effects of gravity here. Keep breathing here. Then you can switch sides. Hold on to your leg here. I'm going to have to adjust because I'm going to hit the wall. So you can extend your other leg out here. You've got one knee bent toward the center and support your other leg on the bottom with your hand. Feel free to hold there. I'll meet you back in the center. Let's do happy baby. Send the soles of your feet up to the sky and bring your feet and knees outside of your hips. So you can grab onto your ankles here or maybe your big toes. Maybe even rock side to side. Or you can just stay in the center. So feel free to hold there or maybe come back to where you just extend legs up and just kind of reach up to the sky in a gentle inversion here. Bend knees, give yourself a hug. You could even bring nose to knees here. Let's try one more modified supine twist. So drop both knees to one side. You can look up to the sky or maybe look toward your knees. Again, feel free to hold here if that feels good, or you can pass through the center, inhale, and on an exhale, drop both knees to the other side. Feel free to hold there or head back to the center. Let's try happy baby again. So again, you can hold on to your ankles or maybe big toes. You could even hold on to the outer edges of your feet if you're feeling flexible enough. Feel free to hold in the center or maybe you gently rock side to side. I literally just saw a baby doing this the other day. Good job there. Yeah, so you can even do any other stretches that might feel good to you. If you're ready to start heading into Shavasana, get comfortable. So sometimes I like to pass back through butterfly. Feel free to do any final stretches. For traditional Shavasana, you extend your legs out, let your feet fall open. And then you're just gonna get comfortable. So you can let your arms just fall open to either side, palms facing up. Close your eyes here. Settle in. Let your breath relax. Really feel the support of the earth here. Let yourself breathe freely. Imagine you're floating, maybe in water. And feel free to stay there in Shavasana for as long as you like. Whenever you are ready to come out of it, you could maybe wiggle your toes or fingers, and you could even draw knees back in toward your chest. You can bring nose to knees, or again, any final stretches that might feel good to you. You can even drop both knees to one side here and come into a fetal pose. Just use your arm as a pillow. And feel free to take your time transitioning here. Over time you can walk your hands up, and again, feel free to find any final stretches here. So sometimes I'll stretch do my hips a little bit more, or find some final stretches or poses. Anything at all that feels good to you. And then just find a final pose. It could be seated. Feel free to stay in Shavasana where you're lying down. Get comfortable. Maybe close your eyes here. And just notice your breath. Notice how you feel. Sending that breath to every corner of your body. Letting your mind be still here. Placing your hands where they're comfortable. Finding that peace of mind that comes with practicing. Thanks for practicing with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste. So again, feel free to keep stretching or meditating, and I'll see you soon. Bye.